negros y indios nativos somos los verdaderos israelitas.
¿Esto dónde lo dice según el versículo?
Esto dice en la Biblia. Está escrita en la Reina Valera.
We got to live in this district. The whiteys don't come down here, man, and live in the fucked up houses, man. The whiteys don't come down here, man, and have all the fucked up fucking no heat in the fucking winter time. You understand? We do, Jack. So therefore, like, wow, we got to make it a better place. You understand that?
Like they want to make it a racial problem, you know. So we didn't want that, you know. So I jumped in, I put in for my boy, because he's a black brother. You know? So we made an unracial problem. We the Puerto Ricans should rise up and defend ourselves against these dogs. The North American is trying to steal our identity as Puerto Ricans and call us Americans. We Puerto Ricans are Puerto Ricans till the day we are born, until the day we die.
Chicanos killing Chicanos is what they want. Blacks and Chicanos killing each other is what they want. That's how they run this place. Once we get together, they don't run shit.
Conference in Doral Monday, Venezuelan Americans denounced the Trump administration and South Florida Republicans.
More than betrayed. Beyond betrayed. They used us. They actually, during the campaign, and I don't want to make this political, but during the campaign, the elected officials from the Republican Party, they actually told us that he was not going to touch the documented people.
I will vote for Donald Trump. I will vote.
Raise your hand, come on.
For Donald Trump. Dale cintura, 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 cintura. I will vote for Donald Trump.
No firmen nada ni digan nada. No tienen culpa para pararle. That's fucking. You should be ashamed of yourselves. You guys probably have family from Mexico. You guys should be ashamed. You guys look fucking nopal as fuck. How dare you guys? You guys are sad. Damn, this shit's sad. It's making me cry because I can't believe this shit's happening in my own fucking neighborhood. That's fucked up. She's heading to work and they're taking her, and she has family over here. That's fucking scandalous, bro. I can't believe this shit's really happening. That's sad. You guys are scandalous, fuck, man. What is she doing? Heading to work? What is she bothering you guys? Is she doing something dangerous? How about you guys go get the fucking prostitution off the street on hold? I've been here fucking 39 years of my life and I've never seen this shit. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves. May God have mercy on all your souls and your family souls. Because karma's a bitch. Karma's a bitch, and you look nopal as fuck. You should be ashamed. Undercover cops, look at stopping people and taking them, asking them where they're from, what part of Mexico. Look at fucking bastards. They don't have license plates, you guys. So if you guys see undercover cops with no plates, they're fucking pulling over a Mexican.
A big shout out to all the Latinos that decided not to go to work, decided not to go to school, that decided not to shop today. You know, we're trying to make a point here, which is this country, the USA, United States, will not stand without Latinos. We got to take it a step further. Let's keep going. Stop going to church. Let's let go of the Christian church and the Catholic church. Let's let go of their politics, being a Republican, Democrat, voting. Let's let go of their holidays. You know, I know we're trying to be radical, But how you gonna be radical and then celebrate the 4th of July? How you gonna try to take a stand and then when Christmas come around, you're there shopping on Christmas and Thanksgiving and Halloween? Let's not make this a one-time thing, but let's take a stand every single day and start to let go of all the poison that they gave us. Let's make a real stand. Shalom.
Turn that down a little bit. All right. Testing. Let's get the most high.
Test.
Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Brakathum to the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar, the Thumb by Shem Yahweh Shah to the
sisters.
Yes, sir. We are back Tuesday night brotherhood class. The water for everyone tuning in. The water
That's
for
right. That's
chat,
right.
like, share, comment. You know what I'm saying? Most definitely get that algorithm up. Get your intake in that comment section. We want to hear from you. We want to see what your thoughts is. You know what I'm saying on this particular topic. Speaking of it, let's get to it. Precinct Officer Natazak, and we got my brother. You know what I'm saying? Precinct Officer now. Officer of 50, Yakawan Ban Yashakar. Get that brother.
Most Christ. Water.
Most definitely. First time. You know, ain't no point in putting that out there. You know what I'm saying? But hey, you see him. It's not his first class. You know what I'm saying? It's his first class, but it's not his first class. That brother is in classes all the time. You know what I'm saying? Whether if it's reading, but now my brother can teach now. So Most High in Christ. All right. So let's get to it. You know what I mean? Topic at hand. We're gonna get on this ICE situation. We're gonna get on blacks and browns. It's unite or die when it comes to black and brown at this point. You know what I mean? And we're gonna get on the US government. All are tied within each other. You know what I mean? Because blacks and Hispanics are being attacked at the moment, right? So ever since Donald Trump has came into office, you know what I mean, he's had a full-blown attack on Hispanics mostly, and he's starting to make his wave into attacking so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, you know what I mean? So let's go. So as we see that there is being massive deportations happening at this moment, you know what I mean? The reasoning is because of what our oppressors say is that because people are illegal. People are in this country illegally, and not only are they illegal, but they also are criminals, right? So they're on the manhunt for criminals. So they say they're on the manhunt for criminals, and people are in this country illegally, right? Now, let me repeat that. They are on the hunt for criminals and people who are in this country illegally. You know what I mean? Like, that's their excuse. But people with common sense and common knowledge can look up all oppressors' history on how they got here entirely. They got here lawfully? No. They broke the law. They came into a country. They came into a country where people were hospitable and peaceful to them, and they took that to advantage, and they unalived them, they abused them, they conquered their land, conquered their territory, and took it as their home. So if the reasoning for this massive deportation is because people are here illegally and because they're criminals, shouldn't our oppressors be locking themselves up? Because they're the biggest criminals. They're the biggest unwelcomed nation in this country. This
Right.
did not belong to them. They came here solely off of unaliving, abusing, enslaving, right?
Right.
So shouldn't they should arrest themselves. You know what I mean? Because how we see it is our Hispanic brothers and sisters, our Native American brothers and sisters, they've been here. So they're the ones who have every right to be in this country. You don't ever see in the news ICE going after the what do you call them again? The beggars. What is it? The ones that's fighting Russia?
Ukraine?
What do you call them? Ukrainians, yeah. You don't see that. You don't see ICE going after Ukrainians. You don't see ICE going after the Chinese, the Japanese. You don't see ICE going after any of these different nations. You don't see ICE going after these Africans. A lot of these different nations that are here illegally, they are going specifically after our Hispanic brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? And they're not going to stop there. You know what I mean? They're not going to stop there, but we'll get to that in a minute. But let's just get to the what's the word I'm looking for? Let's get to the intro of things, right? So, yes, they're specifically targeting our Hispanic brothers and sisters, right? And there's a reason for this. There's a reason why they're doing this. And there's a lesson that needs to be learned when it comes to our people, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We have to understand that when it comes to something going wrong in this country, something happening to them where they feel that they got a little pressure on their shoulders, where they feel like that things are going a little left for them. You know what I mean? When it comes to that, our people are always going to suffer for the mishaps of our oppressors. When things get tough for them, they're going to make it even tougher for us. That's how it goes. You know what I mean? They're not doing this because they feel like our Hispanic brothers and sisters are destroying the country. Because who do you see working outside in that heat? Who do you see working for the bare minimum of wages? Who do you see working in those restaurants? You know what I mean? Damn near every restaurant you go into, you see our Hispanic brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? This is the country thrives off of Hispanics. The country thrives off of Blacks. The country thrives off of Native Americans. The country would not be the successful country it is if it wasn't for the oppression that our people faced, right? You know what I mean? It wouldn't be as successful as it is if it wasn't for the oppression that our people face. So them making a attempt to deport and to get rid of our Hispanic brothers and sisters has absolutely nothing to do with making the country better, helping the country, because you're only going to hurt it, because you're taking out the people who actually put in the labor to help this country. You're not helping it. You're going to make it worse. But why are you doing it? What's the point? If you're going to make the country worse by trying to deport our Hispanic brothers and sisters, then what is the reason for this massive deportation? What is the point of it? And the reason for that is because our oppressors are trying to survive for generation to generation. That's all it is. They're trying to make sure they sustain themselves for another generation to come and that next generation to come. And what they're seeing at this moment is that as their people decrease, our people increase. Our Hispanic brothers and sisters are having babies like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Our Native American Black brothers and sisters, they're having babies like crazy. And yet it's getting harder and harder for Esau to have children or to sustain having pregnancies and sustain having long-term lifestyles. You know what I'm saying? Because they're dying under the sun. You know what I mean? So their people are not procreating in a how can I say, in such a rapid way, the way that you see our Hispanic brothers and sisters are. So our Hispanic brothers and sisters are just doing what we do. You know what I mean? We marry and we have families, and it's happening such at a rapid rate that they are literally taking back this country. You know what I'm saying? And our oppressor sees what the outcome could be of this from a time to come. I mean, they see what the outcome could be for their people. They're slowly but surely dying out, and our people are slowly but are rapidly moving in. You know what I mean? So they know exactly what's going to happen when it comes to the pie chart of power when it comes to this country. Yeah, go on. You got something you want to add on that?
Couple things I want, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like the false hope of what what they can expect in the future. They want to make America great again, but it can never be great again because Christ, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, has to come back and he has to establish his kingdom. But for that, we have to follow the law, statutes, and commandments of God. And basically, they want to they want to think, or they're hoping that America, goes back to slavery days, to have their foot in our necks again, as they did in the past. But it's getting close to Christ coming back, and we have to, us as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we have to go back and follow our law, statutes, and commandments, so that we can thrive, so we can be ready for Yahweh Shai when he comes back. So I have a precept here, from 28, where it says, why we are going through the things that we're going through. And if I may bring it out of one.
What precept is it? I'll read it for you.
Is it it's 28 and 15?
Psalms?
Deuteronomy 28 and 15.
Deuteronomy 28 and 15.
Come, because right now, we are all thinking that Christ loves everybody and he's going to have our back. But right now, we're in the Christian church. We're eating shrimp, crab, lobster, all kinds of swine. We're eating unlawful things. We're sleeping with our brothers' wives, and doing all kind of fornication. And we expect for things to go right for us, but it's not so. We have to get in. We have to get in order. We have to come under the Isupk and the commanding Jerry Yohana,
right, in
order for us to have the favor of the Lord and basically have a restored order in our tribes, the 12 tribes of Israel. So if I may, can you bring that out of one?
Come. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes.
If I may, it says you have to hearken, you have to listen,
right?
Yeah, because it's gonna you have to observe all the commandments, all the statutes that the Lord says. Go ahead, Adawan.
Come. To observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
See there, I don't want, if I may stop you there. It says we have curses. We're under a curse. We have to make sure that we have a knowledge of what we need to do to be on the Lord's favor, to make sure that we have knowledge of what to do in order for us to be blessed again, in order for us to come back and inherit the earth, because all the earth is promised to us. All the earth, you know, way back when Adam, you know, was given the earth and its dominions, he had, you know, the run of everything. And that's where we're trying to come back to. But if we don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments, it's no, you know, Christ is going to tarry, and we're going to be cursed. We're going to be in bondage. We're going to be, you know, still going to these Christian churches, going to eat all these unlawful things and have unlawful sex with our brothers' wives and have all kind of sin, all kind of how can I say all kind of curses on us. But back and we listen to the law, statutes, and commandments, then we're gonna thrive. The Lord's gonna be with us, and we're gonna get the kingdom.
Right. You want me to read 16, or you good on precept?
Yeah, go ahead and read 16 just to finish that off. I don't want.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
There you go. Our brothers and sisters working in the fields, and you know, we're working all types of jobs here in the restaurants, hotels, and you know, all our people are getting all these jobs where we have to do service to our oppressors, and ICE, you know, coming into our jobs and picking us up, you know, deporting us and taking us back to our country, and all our brothers in the fields also that have their jobs working for pennies on the dollar, you know, to get ahead, to feed their families, and they have to worry about ICE, you know, ICE coming and picking them up, arresting them, putting them in detention homes, and having separating them from the family, and having what I'm trying to say, having a dominion over us, putting us in cages and all sorts of how you say unrighteous things.
Mm-hmm. Most high Christ. Most high Christ. Most definitely. So I wanted to give me Psalms 55 and 21. What you were talking about, and also that correlating with that clip that we seen in the beginning of the class, right? How people were persuaded to go out and people were hired to go out and persuade people to go vote for Donald Trump, right? So our Hispanic brothers and sisters, they were told that the thing that was to let it be known was that nobody with papers was going to be deported. There wasn't going to be no mass deportation with people with papers or anything like that. But as we see, as the deportation is going on, people with papers are being deported. If you had some type of criminal record or any type of situation like that, it's people that are innocent that don't have a criminal record that are being deported. You know what I mean? And you can see, like, our people, it's affecting them emotionally. You know what I mean? Because they're seeing their loved ones, they're seeing their neighbors from up the street being snatched off the streets and taken. You know what I mean? And as you've seen in that clip, a woman was, you know what I mean, just going to work. She was going to her slave, minding her business, and yet she's a threat to this white kingdom, to Esau's kingdom. She's a threat. So what they do, they take this woman who is more than likely not a threat or harm to anyone, and they lock her up and they take her to the borders and send her back to Mexico, or if she even came from there. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. So we're seeing our people realizing that the white man is not to be trusted. Esau is not to be trusted. You know what I'm saying? He can say whatever he wants, but at the end of the day, it doesn't resonate with his actions. He can tell you that, oh yeah, well, you're better than the illegal ones, and you're just like us. And the legal ones are the only ones that we're worried about. We're not worried about you, but really on his heart, he doesn't have a lick of love for any of us. Any of them. Whether legal, illegal, he wants all of us to be out of there. And I'm speaking not as Donald Trump, I'm speaking for our oppressor as a whole. The white man as a whole wants us demolished off of this planet. You know what I'm saying? They want us off of this planet. Why? Because we are a threat to them. We are a threat to them. You know what I mean? They see the slow reproduction of their people. They understand what's going on. They understand that their country is no longer being their country anymore. The country that they came and sexually assaulted and unalived people for is no longer being their possession anymore. You know what I mean? Right. And that is a threat to them. So what are they doing? They do what they always do. They abuse the ones who are a threat to them. They unalive the ones who are a threat to them. They throw the ones that are a threat to them in cages and lock them up. You know what I mean? They oppress them. So this is what we've seen within that clip. The Donald Trump promised Venezuelans and, you know what I mean, our Hispanic brothers and sisters that he would not deport anybody that has their papers. And yet that's exactly what he's doing. And this is why I need to understand who the enemy is, who is actually out to get us. Understand? Go ahead and read me that real quick.
It's Psalms, what other one?
Psalms 55 and start at 20.
Okay. There's a book of Psalms, chapter 55 and verse 20. Mm-hmm. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with them.
Mm-hmm.
He hath broken his covenant.
So isn't that what Donald Trump did? He put his hands forth and said, "Okay, well, we're just worried about the illegal ones, the ones without papers, the ones who snuck in this country. That's all we're worried about. We promise you that this is not going to be something that we go and attack your people as a whole on. You know what I mean? If you got your papers, then you're just fine. If you are an outstanding citizen, then you're just fine." Isn't that what he did? He made a promise that he would not attack the Hispanic brothers and sisters who have their papers, right? Go ahead, keep reading.
Khan.
So I can read that precept all over again.
Khan. Psalms chapter 55, verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with them.
Mm-hmm.
He hath broken his covenant.
He broke his covenant. Go ahead.
Verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Mm-hmm. It was smooth as butter when he said, "You guys are just fine. We're just worried about the illegal ones. Don't worry about it. Vote for me. I'll make sure that you guys are protected. I'll make sure that you all are fine. I'll make sure that we grease your pockets for promoting our campaign." You know what I mean? Those words were smooth as butter. He's telling, but he's going to break his promise. He's going to break his covenant. He's going to break what he promised to those people. Go ahead, read that one more time.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Mm-hmm.
But war was in his heart.
But war is on his heart. War is in his heart. He wants to be at war with blacks and Hispanics.
Right.
He wants to be at war with our Hispanic brothers and sisters. Why does he want to be at war? Because his people are in danger. And he's reassuring that the great white hope of their people still exists. That's what he wants to reassure. He wants to reassure that America knows that Esau, it will always be at the top of the podium. And we will always be the ones picking for crumbs. He wants to reassure that for us. So he wants to take away your rights, and he wants to take away the benefit of diverse people being hired on to jobs. You know he did that, right? He took away that benefit where a slave could be, I don't want to say a slave, a job or a company can be benefited better or more when it comes to securing positions for Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, diverse people. You know what I mean? But he took that away. So now there is no benefit when you hire a Black man. There is no benefit when you hire a Hispanic man, a Hispanic woman, or a Black woman. There is no benefit to it. So now what are they going to do? They're going to start hiring their own. They're going to reassure that their own get the positions that are always going to be over our brothers and sisters. That's exactly what they're going to do. Why? Because they're setting the standard, and they're planting their feet on the ground to let it be known that we are not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. We're always going to be on top. You know what I mean? And yet, those smooth words and war was on his heart. He had war on his heart the whole time. He said a whole bunch of words, put me in office, vote for me, and this is I'm gonna fulfill this promise. I'm gonna fulfill this promise, and yet he broke it. Right? Go ahead, keep going. Go ahead, finish that out.
His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn sword.
So his words, they made it seem nice. It's like it's no different than a preacher. You know what I mean? The words might seem nice and they might seem gracious and they might seem kind, but at the end of the day, he is a weapon. He is a weapon to reassure validity for his people. That's the type of that he's going to speak in a kind tone, and he's going to capture your hearts and capture your minds, and he's going to bring you on in, and he's going to reassure that, oh yeah, well, if you do this, then hey, we got you. This is what the history is always repeating itself. You know what I mean? He's been doing this since the beginning, since he's got here. This is what he's been doing, using his words to captivate your hearts. And what does he do at the end of that? He destroys us. So shouldn't we have an opening to our eyes already that maybe because things continue to keep on happening, repetition, because they continue to keep happening, shouldn't it be a awakening for our people to say, you know what, we're not falling for this no more. We're not going to go for the okie doke. We're not going to sit over here and allow our oppressors to continue to keep on putting us through hell. You know what I mean? For his own benefit. We're not going to continue this. You know what I mean? Shouldn't our people start waking up and seeing that your vote is not going to change anything? Because I guarantee you, even if Kamala was still in office, we would be just as destroyed as when Biden was there. You know what I mean? Nothing is going to benefit us. That anything that Esau has to offer is never going to benefit our people. Ever. It's never going to benefit us. We're always going to end up entrapped into our own desires. Maybe your desires shouldn't matter anymore. Maybe you should go after the thing that doesn't catch your eye or doesn't appeal to your emotions. Maybe you should stop thinking about yourself all the time. Maybe you should do like Donald Trump is doing and think about your whole nation. Think about your people. Maybe that's what you should do. Because we always wait until it's too late in order to try to strike back, in order to understand who our enemy is. You know what I mean? We wait until it's too late. We wait until the last second. We should be done with that now. Why keep on waiting for someone to change when they're never going to change? We've been sitting over here giving our oppressor chance after chance after chance after the Trail of Tears, after the transatlantic slavery, after, you know what I mean, Jim Crow, after all these different things of our people being literally destroyed, not just in private, but in public. You know what I mean? Laws being passed that, oh yeah, if anything happened with your slave, then unalive your slave. You know what I mean? Publicly just publicly oppressing us. You know what I mean? With no care in the world. When is it that our people are going to actually understand that, you know what, this is the enemy? And you know what? Maybe eating pork is not the worst thing. maybe just like Priest and Officer Yaquam reading that Deuteronomy in the beginning. The reason why we're in this position is because we choose not to follow the laws of the Lord. Maybe following the laws of the Lord are not so bad right now, because it can stop us from being deported. It can stop us from being jobless, from being hopeless. Maybe following maybe not eating pork is not that bad. Maybe not celebrating Christmas, our oppressors' holidays. You know what I mean? Maybe not celebrating our birthdays and just thinking about ourselves on how drunk we're gonna get that night and what random slut we're gonna sleep with, what random person we're gonna sleep with that night. Maybe we should stop thinking in that type of manner and think about, you know what? I'm gonna stop thinking about myself in a personal way, and I'm gonna think about my nation as our oppressors are doing. Because what he's gonna do is he's gonna pass laws, he's gonna pass judgments, and he's gonna get things done, whether if it hurts people, whether if it hurts children. Speaking of children, he's gonna get the job done. But speaking of children, like I want to find this news report, because they've been taking it off of off the online, with ICE going into schools and taking the children out of the schools. Can you imagine the fear that child must feel?
It is crazy.
In a private setting, being in a setting where they think that they're safe because they are in an environment where they are learning and trying to do something productive with their lives, and a officer of many pops in and snatches you out. You don't have anybody to help you. You don't know where you're going. You're in the back of a truck, and you just go into a place away from your family, being taken away from your family, being taken away from your loved ones. Can't get a Can you imagine that fear? Can you imagine that trauma that child is facing, that our children are facing? This is happening out here in Riverside. I have to find that news report because they're trying to wipe it from the internet. But these things are happening locally in places where we can see it happen.
Right.
But they are taking people from churches. They're taking people where obviously the church is not a place that's going to protect you. I mean, you can ask those people who were unalived by that one Edomite, where he, you know what I mean, unalived them while they was praying for him. You know what I mean? So obviously church is not the place for protection. They're going in churches, taking people out. They're going in their homes. You know what I mean? No warrants, no nothing. They know exactly where the people are at, where they want them, and they're snatching people up.
So lucky for me, Arwan.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it said, our oppressor is a cunning hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he like to, search us out, shoot us in the back, beat us, just look at the days of Jim Crow and all the, all through history. They like to prance on prey,
right?
They like, to say, I'm on top. They like to feel like they're, on top. And and we go to Christian churches and we go to a Christian church and they're sitting right beside us, giving us the sign of peace and all of this. Meanwhile, they're the ones in the ICE detention centers working as officers, working as police, and taking us to jail, for smoking weed or whatever. That's unlawful, but they like to do that. They know that they can put their foot on our necks at any time, at any given time. Just look at the news article, like news articles like week after week, oh, such and such brother getting gunned down by police, or getting what you call that, beaten, what else? They, getting put in detention centers, getting put in jail. If I'm Salaki, if I had a precept, I forgot the precept, but Salaki.
You talk. I'm on mute for a second. I'll be right back on.
Con. So, I had a precept here saying that, the oppressor is a cunning hunter. He likes to cheat. He likes to steal. He likes to kill, and that's what he does to us. He likes to hunt. He likes to unalive us. He likes to oppress us, and the way that he does it without any any morality, any compassion, because that's what he does. And we like to be his friend. We like to say, oh, he's not so bad. I'll work for him, or I'll do this for him. I'll take my children to play with his children. When these people are the oppressors. They oppress our people without any remorse after. They like to make the lives of Hispanics, Native Americans, and blacks a living hell, because they know that they're not going to get any repercussion from it. They know that they are gonna they're gonna get away with everything they do, because it's their kingdom. It's their right now. They're on top and we're on the bottom, as the scripture says in Deuteronomy.
Right. Let me get the book of John, chapter 4. John 8 and 44.
John 8 and 44.
John 8 and 44.
Come. John chapter 8 verse 44. Ye of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him.
So the people who decided that, or persuaded to vote for Trump because they felt that he would do something better for their lives, or make their lives better, or be beneficial within their lives, they are of their father, the devil. And Trump was their father at that moment, because he dictated an action that made them go out of their ways and take time out of their day to go and put their trust into this man who obviously was a liar and an unaliver from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. Because shipping our Hispanic brothers and sisters off to these cages and to the other side of the border, you're not putting them in a position where you're not unaliving them. You know what I mean? You're putting them in a position where they are looking at detriment for their lives, for their family. You know what I mean? People are being separated. Children are being separated. This is a full-blown detriment for our people. You know what I'm saying? So we have to understand that we all have as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we all have a common enemy, right? You know what I mean? And that enemy was a unaliver from the beginning.
Right.
What the scriptures say. Because he's continued to unalive us. He came to this country and stole this land and unalived for this land. You know what I mean?
Right.
Matter of fact, let me get Habakkuk. Let me get Habakkuk. I mean, woe to those. Matter of fact, I'll just paraphrase. But woe to those who build a town with blood. That's exactly what they did. They established this country off of blood, off the blood of our Hispanic and Native American brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly how the place was established. They established it with the blood of slaves. You know what I mean?
If you want, I got it out of one.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's a book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establishes a city by iniquity.
And establishes a city with sin. He didn't get this land righteously. You know what I mean? It wasn't a righteous way of him getting this land. He had to be sick and sadistic, the way that he always has been. I always use this analogy. You know what I'm saying? People go out of their way so much to fight for our oppressor, to try to come into unity with our oppressor, right? Not understanding our oppressor is like a roaring lion. You know what I'm saying? Right now, our oppressor is just like how a lion would be if they are full. The lion just gets done eating and he's full. He's not worried about you. You know what I mean? He's ate his fill, he's laying down. He's not going to go out of his way to attack you or to unalive you. But let that lion feel some sense of threat to him. Let that lion feel hungry again. Let him be put in this position where he's hungry again, and he needs more resources. He needs more money. Needs more of anything. What is he going to do? He's going to hunt, right? And that's what our oppressor is just like.
Right.
Like a lion who's just got done feasting off of the oppression of all of our people, but now he's getting hungry again because he's starting to see the threat that's in front of him. So what is he going to do? He's going to hunt, and he's going to unalive. What he's going to do? He's going to set the tone that he is the king of this nation, the king of this kingdom. That's what he's going to do. And for him to do that, he has to put you in your place as his servant. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to show, and don't think for 1 second, because what Esau is such a cunning hunter. You have to understand, in the midst of them attacking our people, attacking our Hispanic brothers and sisters, deporting them, sending them off to the to cages and to, you know what I mean, to the border. In the midst of it, what he's also doing is causing more separation on these social media sites when it comes to blacks and Hispanics. That's what he's doing in this moment, because it's all you see posting is, oh yeah, well, black people should be sticking up for Latinos. Oh, Latinos should be sticking up for themselves because they're the ones who got Donald Trump in office and they voted for him. And oh, this and that and that and this. All these different scenarios of BS when we are all fighting the same common enemy.
Right.
There is no separation. We're all under attack. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We're all under attack. So there is no separation. There is no separation. But our oppressor will cause division. Why? Because that's what happens when it comes to him weakening us. Because us being united is a threat to him. Us being united is the end all be all of his perishing kingdom.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what it is. But we don't want to gather together. We don't want to make our election sure by following these laws, statutes, and commandments. We want to argue with each other on why this person's not helping this person, or why when we were going through this, they weren't there, or why it's all the same nonsense. What we need to understand is that blacks and Hispanics are being attacked as a unit together because technically we are together as a people.
Right.
Why they are so obsessed with oppressing blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Because at the end of the day, our unity is what devours their kingdom and what obliterates their order of power. You know what I mean? That's what it does. So in some way, our people cannot keep falling for the same separation okie doke. We have to understand that as a people of being oppressed, we all are facing that same oppression. You know what I mean?
Right.
We all are being put into the same jaws of the beast together. There is no separation when it comes to who's being attacked. All you can do is side with the people who are in the same category as you. You know what I mean? Because they're not going after Japanese. They're not going after Chinese. They're not going after Arabs. They're not going after the Arabs in America. They're not going after the East Indians in America. They're not going after the Ukrainians. They're not going after them, even though they're in this country illegally. They're going after Issachar and Levi, Hispanics and Haitians. You know what I mean? That's what they're going after, to deport, to get them out of this country. Because if you lessen the numbers of Hispanics, then that gives you a fighting chance of making more Esau in this country, having a shot to procreate and to get your numbers on their level. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about.
Yeah, so like everyone, if I may. Also, you know, some of his own people are also, you know, on those eyesights too, because well, what I mean is, you know, not all of them are going to understand that. Also, you know, there's retaliation that's gonna happen, because right now we've seen that the freeways are being shut down. All kind of protests are coming out, all over the news. And, the people are just showing out and saying, we're not with this. We're not going to let it, we're not going to let it stand. We're not going to let, our brothers and sisters, get deported that easily. They're keeping them, they're keeping their children at home. They're not, they're basically blocking the streets, making, messing up the economy, making businesses lose money. So that's, that's something that he's provoking, and in reality, it's sort of shoving us to unite, to make a show of force between blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, showing support for each other, because he's doing something that he doesn't want to happen, but he's making it happen. As if you understand what I'm saying,
right? Yeah.
So that's all I had. I don't know.
Okay, so that's exactly what's going on. And I mean, with the final words of this class, because we got to wrap it up. I mean, I want to end it with Zephaniah 2:1, if you can give me that. I mean, this is the most important thing that we need to do at this time period. We got to stop falling for the okie doke. We have to stop going against each other as if we are of two different people, of two different situations. Blacks, Hispanics are being oppressed in the same mannerism as we always been oppressed in the same mannerism. There is no separation in our oppression. There is no separation, and when it comes to our abuse that we have suffered from our oppressors, from Esau, from any other nation that's not Black, Hispanic, or Native American. You know what I mean?
Right.
We've also abused our own selves. But if we follow these laws and we follow these statutes and we follow the Lord's commandments, and we knew that the commandments exist, and we knew that if we had to follow if our purpose was to follow these commandments and to serve the Lord, that we would get our power back, then we wouldn't be doing these things to each other, because the law is brotherly. The law is to keep a unity of our brotherhood together. That's what the law is all based on. When it comes to things that you have more so even accident or on purpose taken from a brother, you give it back to that brother. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to a brother's rib, you don't touch it or look at that brother's rib in a way where, okay, I want to have my way with her, or anything of that nature. You take away the offense of offending a brother. The whole law is brotherly. But and yet we still follow this world which wants us to be separate. We follow this world that wants us to be divided. We have to stop following what the world wants and start following what the Lord wants. And the Lord wants us to do what? Go ahead and read that for me, Uncle Ron.
Right. Zephaniah 2:1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
And we are, as Blacks, Hispanics, being shown publicly who is not desired in this country.
Khan.
I mean, it's not just happening right now. Even though this is a pure example of, but it's not the only example. This has happened to us many, many times, and it's going to continue to keep on happening to us unless we do what? Read that again, Yaquan.
Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Gather yourselves together. We don't need to be separate at this moment. There is no, oh, you're on your own. You are not on your own because we are all being attacked. So why would we leave brothers out there to be alone in the support of our oppression and supporting our brothers and sisters out of this oppression? Why would we leave brothers and sisters alone when we are the ones being oppressed as well? It makes no sense.
Right.
We are, as a people, being oppressed in the same manner. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we are all being oppressed in the same manner. We'll continue to be the ones being picked on. We'll continue to be the ones enslaved. We'll continue to be the ones oppressed. We'll continue to be the ones stripped away from our family. We'll continue to be the ones that are unalive, as long as we continue to be divided and separated. We need to stop this nonsense on feeling like, oh, well, they're not us, or they're not us, or, oh, yeah, we're separated, and, oh, yeah, they have their own lifestyles, and we got our own. That has absolutely nothing to do with anything. We share one thing that we can all agree on, is that we all have the same common enemy. And yet we still run to the enemy when it comes to handling our business, when it comes to handling our lifestyles, when it comes to handling our families. We need to separate from our enemy.
Right.
Separate from his ways. We need to, just like Adawan Lahab said in the beginning of the clip in the beginning. You know what I mean? That we don't need to just stop, start protesting and stop working and things of that nature. We need to stop doing what they want us to do altogether. We need to stop serving their holidays. We need to stop celebrating their Christmases, their Easters, their Thanksgivings, their cultural things that they love to do yearly. We need to stop celebrating those things. We need to stop falling for the same things that they want us to do and do what we're supposed to do. Do what the Lord tells you to do. You know what I mean? And the Lord is not telling you to love everybody. It's fine to hate. They hate you, so why can't you hate them back? If they hate you so much to the point where they will run into school and take your children out of a school without your consent, without your knowings, you go pick up your child from school and you notice that they're not there because ICE came and snatched them out. Now you don't know where your children will ever be.
Right.
Come on now. Come on now. It's time for our people to wake up. It's time for our people to stop this nonsense of division, because division is not going to get us anywhere. We know where the power comes from, and that's being united. You know what I mean? We share one common thing, and that's an enemy. And that's oppression. And that's being attacked. Because we see publicly that our enemy is not attacking anyone else but our people. And he's not doing that because he really cares that illegal immigrants are in this country, because he's an illegal immigrant. They're illegal immigrants. They're aliens. They're not supposed to be here. They don't care about people who are in this country that are not, that don't got papers. They don't got papers. Right. They came here off of signing a contract specifically made in blood. That's it. So they're not worried about that. That doesn't benefit their country. What they're worried about is that their nation is dying out. And we need to think of our people as a nation that will die out, because they will completely wipe us off of the map of this world if we allow them to continue to keep on fooling us. They'll wipe us out. They'll keep on putting diseases and drugs in our neighborhoods. They'll keep on putting guns in our neighborhoods. And you know what I mean? They'll continue to keep on feeding us with this doctrines of Christianity and Catholicism.
Right.
All right. You know what I mean? They'll keep poisoning us with that, and we'll just be a distant memory. But we have to follow the statutes and commandments. And our commandment for now is to gather ourselves together. and understand that we all have a common enemy. Yaquan, you got some last words?
I'm to one. I'm good.
Good.
Call Khan.
All right, most high Christ. All right, so the water for everybody in the chat. You know what I mean? The water for your words, your input. You know what I mean? Whether positive or negative, we appreciate the input because your input it sparks a conversation and it also builds the algorithm. You know what I mean? Your likes, all those things. You know what I mean? We want to get this truth out here. We want our people to know that we are willing to stand, Blacks and Hispanics stand together. We want to let people know that there is a safe haven for our people to join and to get together, to not feel like, oh yeah, well, a Hispanic and a Black person can't sit in the same building, in the same virtual what do you call this thing right here? StreamYard. You know what I mean? And spread knowledge to our people that it's possible for us to be together and to treat each other as brothers. You know what I mean? We want our people to know that there's a place for us to have that. You know what I mean? We don't look at anybody. Oh, I don't look at Yaquan and I see a Hispanic. Yaquan doesn't look at me and see a Black. We see each other as brothers, and we see each other and we see each other as brothers, and we see each other as sisters out here in this organization. There's no separation. You know what I mean? Under Commander General Yohana, we are straight and to the point, and we are together. We're doing exactly what Zephaniah told us to do, which is gather ourselves together. We want our people to see that too. So the water for you guys in the chat, the water for you guys watching, the water for, you know what I mean, everybody putting in that input. Shalom, Yahweh, Shem, Yahweh, Shabbat. Shalom, Yahweh, Shamar, Thumba, Shem, Yahweh. Appreciate y'all coming in Tuesday night, brother.